What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So it is February. It's been about another month since we've done an episode, and we got an interesting one today. Why don't you introduce the topic?
So yeah, we're just on the other side of the February 22nd, 2022. All the twos rolling and Pluto
Oh yeah,
returning. But I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I know you have a lot to say about it as well. Um, Appropriately titled "Vegan World Order,"
yep,
because from my point of view, vegan used to mean one thing, and now, like everything else, it's being kind of convoluted with some other subjects. So I wanted to dig into it. There's so many aspects now. I think it's worth a few good hours of talking.
yeah, definitely. We'll probably get into about an hour today. We'll kind of run down our history of being vegan and kind of, I guess, what that means. We'll kind of go over, kind of get into the industry and the like mistreatment of animals. What else we got? We're gonna talk about some of like the celebrities, kind of the agenda, I guess you would call it, that we've kind of been noticing and seeing over the years. And I think towards the end, we're going to have a little debate or conversation, a couple of questions that were kind of brought up. Um, and yeah, I think we're going to have a good talk. So that's kind of a little tease of what we have going on for this next hour or so. So how should we get into it? Just you want me to get into my story, or you have anything else you want to add to that, or what do you think?
No, that's good. We kind of worked it. I feel like we kind of reverse engineered the thing because like there's like the subject of being vegan and the vegan diet being kind of weaponized, and then we're just going all the way back to like where we came into this whole world in general. And I'm sure for you, this for me, how different it was when we did come into this world. And you touched on celebrities and the vegan diet, which I think most weaponizing of ideas starts with celebrities having a hand in it. So yeah, no, that's a
Yeah.
pretty good summation. What is, I don't know if I remember your story of how you came to be. Were you always like a big meat eater? Did you not care? Was food food?
Yeah, so I mean, just growing up, like pretty much anybody just grew up eating meat is just what the family had, that's just kind of what it was. And, we always incorporated vegetables and things like that into the diet and all of that. But just fast forward to around 2017, I was working at Pure Burger, this like burger joint in like Carlsbad area.
Shout
And
out Pure Burger.
yeah, that's where like all the homies worked and all that stuff. It is a really cool environment, and at the time, it was like a really good burger and good chicken sandwich and all of that. But
They have cane soda instead of that high fructose stuff.
yeah, exactly. Just everything about it was pretty like high quality for what it was. And you see that more and more nowadays, but at the time it was kind of not one of the first, but kind of in that first wave, I would say, especially here in North County. It kind of was a
Yeah,
trendsetter for
accessible.
sure. Yeah. And they even expanded and had like vegetarian and vegan options pretty early on. And so it was pretty cool, but I wasn't even aware or focused on being vegan, anything like that. I mean, I had heard about it because the person I was seeing at the time was vegan or tried to be vegan as much as possible. And so I was exposed to it, but it was just kind of it was hard to deal with because it was like, oh, where do we eat? Like, I need to kind of like, like it was just hard. And
Yeah.
plus, at the time, there wasn't as many options. What are we gonna go get? Oh, you're gonna get fries. Like, cool. Like, there just wasn't as many
A
options.
salad with
Even
no dressing.
just 4 or 5 years ago, you know what I mean? So imagine 6, 7, 8 years ago when, that was going on. So there's just been a lot of evolution over these last handful of years. But around 2017, I was working at Pure Burger, and on Netflix, I was exposed. I don't know how I got told to watch it, but I watched that documentary, What the Health. And yeah,
Classics.
yeah. So I watched that, and that honestly just changed my perspective on everything. Just as far as health, and I know that one didn't dive too much into the animal cruelty aspect of it. I think it did a little bit, but it wasn't as graphic as some of the other ones are, which I kind of steer away from because I just can't see it. It's too heartbreaking for me to watch those. But so that's what I watched, and it just really stood out to me. I know there's kind of controversy within what was presented with it. I think there was a lot of nitpicking, cherry picking science, and things like that. But that's with any science, right? Any field is kind of like that. But to me, it just presented a new way of thinking, and the idea that you don't need meat to kind of like live and sustain and survive. Like, you don't need protein from meat to continue living. So I slowly, like, I went vegetarian. I cut out all like meat products pretty quickly. And this was while I was still working at Pure Burger. And then I did that for a few months, but was still eating like dairy, cheese, all that kind of stuff. And then after a few months, 4 or 5 months or so of that, I just couldn't do it anymore. Went vegan, I guess, is what we would say. And then I had that complex of, dude, here I am at a restaurant where they're grinding the meat here in the back, and they're having me wash the pans and like tenderize the chicken and all that. I'm like, I got to a point where it's like, I gotta do something else now. So it really made an impact and like made me kind of actually change course for what I was doing, and like kind of like everybody, I started out feeling great because all I was doing was eating milkshakes, fries, and like just burgers, chicken sandwiches all the time because of where I was working and the accessibility of that. And so when I first went vegan, I just replaced that with like a bunch of salads and vegetables and all that stuff. So I felt great, but that didn't last too long. Just like a lot of vegans like they're like, oh yeah, I feel great at first, and then I like have that crash because you don't continue doing research and finding out like what your body needs, like actually needs to survive, because you're lacking some of these other things that you would be getting, but or just because you're not eating healthy in general. Like, a lot of people just don't eat healthy in general. So now I got it dialed in. I'm like, I have like superfood proteins and like all that kind of stuff, and greens, and I'm not the healthiest, but I try and have my multivitamins now, and I try and be consistent as far as getting the nutrients, as like vitamins and all of that. But I know I'm not the healthiest still, because I was never the healthiest before, and some habits are hard to break, and sugar is probably the main drug out there. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at, kind of how I came to where I am. And it's like, for a while there, I was very, I wouldn't say aggressive with it, but I would tell people, oh, I'm vegan. Oh, how could you do this, that? Like, and now people don't even know. Like, some people can figure it out, but I'm not one to be like pushing it on somebody. I'll just lead kind of by example. And if you offer me something, I'm like, no, I'm good. And then if they ask why or something, I'll explain or expound upon or whatever. But for the most part, I'll just lead by example. And then I've gotten people more impressed that way than kind of like pushing it on people, but like, oh, you're doing bad. It just, I've done that, and it just doesn't go that far, at least for me. And so I just kind of do my own thing and just kind of let people see how it is, and I'm not dying. Like, I'm still here alive. So
you don't pass out daily from malnutrition.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did. I think it's kind of like a lot of other conspiracy stuff when you find out and you want to go, I think Tripoli calls it scorched earth. You just want to like berate everybody with the info until they see the
Yeah.
light and join you, and they don't, and it's annoying. But yeah, I think going about it a different way is probably a good call. I'm slowly going over to that, but if somebody asks me once, like if you go to a drive-through, like to get some fries or whatever, like, hey, do you want to try our fucking double Whopper cheeseburger, Donald,
Hmm.
whatever, with extra
Yeah.
fucking cheese and shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, I don't eat meat. Thanks. I'll take some fries. You know, like if it's any sort of little thing, I accept that as like an invite to
Mm.
just give them a little. You know what I mean? But I think much more aggressive personality
Ye-
wise than you typically with
Yes.
anything. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, is it my turn? Do I go?
Yeah.
Should I
Yeah. Yeah.
tell
Yes. Yeah. So
how
what's
I
your
fell
story?
down the
How
food
how did
rabbit hole?
that's crazy. It's already been like 17, 18, like 4.5, 5 years. It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, I had well, it's kind of a few different things that culminated. My girlfriend and I had moved out. We were in Orange County, and we were doing cat rescue, animal rescue, but mainly cats. You know, every once in a while
Hmm.
we get like a possum or a rabbit, or you know, a dog got dumped in our apartment complex. So like we took him in, and we'd go all day to these adoption events, trying to get all of these abandoned and neglected and cats that were gonna get put down at the end of the day, get them adopted, find them loving homes. And like we were really into it, man. Like we were like my wife was like running an adoption event. It was really cool, fulfilling. It's always nice to be around cats and dogs. You know, they're just a different energy, man. They're not like people. They're much better
Hmm.
sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, but I remember we were like going, like we were leaving an adoption event, having a great day, tiring but great day, and we're like thinking about what we're gonna have for dinner, and it just kind of like didn't make sense to like go get a fat cheeseburger after trying to save all these other animals. Like we could
Yeah.
save another animal by not doing that. And we
Hmm.
were it was just my now wife, then girlfriend, and I in Orange County together. And so at the end of the day, we would just sit on the balcony and drink and smoke cigarettes and talk 3 4 hours at a time about any little tiny subject. And so we kind of started to come up with these like rules that we would follow for making decisions. And so in doing that and then like doing the animal rescue, we're like, well, it doesn't really make sense. Like let's maybe we should like pull back on it. And so we pulled back a little bit, and then I was already going down rabbit holes, like and like for everything. And so I'd find something about animals just in passing and I'd show it to her. She'd do research, and then it was like, okay, well, let's try to do like humanely killed animals. And I remember she went through like America's rules on how to humanely kill, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not okay with this." Like, and
Hmm.
it's stuff like grab the piglet by the back hooves and slam them as hard as you can to the fucking ground until their face implodes, and you've done a good job. You're humane, And we're like, okay. And then it started to be like, well, there's no nice way to kill the fucking animal, and they can't say I don't want to die or I want you to eat me. And so that was where it started. We stopped eating we started to phase it out, right? We started to phase out meat. And I remember we had turkey burgers left over in the freezer, and we're like, all right, like let's kill these last turkey burgers, and then we're just not going to buy any more. And we each took a bite of the turkey burgers, and we're like, nah, like it tasted disgusting. Like it already tasted disgusting. You know what I mean? And so that was it. That was the end of meat. And not but a few weeks later, we did some more reading about like cheese and milk and all that stuff, and we're like, all right, like the milk is gone because we read what they do to this. There was this one type of cheese. I forgot what it was. It was so long ago, but it was like specifically extracted from like the inner lining of a baby cow to make this type of cheese. And I was like, it was like the seventh layer, the seventh lining of the gut. And I'm like, that's not like, that's not, that's not how I want to, that's not how I want to be.
Yeah.
And I don't, what am I like royalty from 1,000 years ago? That's like, bring me the seventh lining of this cow's innards. No, dude, like that wasn't us. It wasn't what we wanted to do. So we cut that out, and we immediately started to try and replace stuff. We did a lot of the fake meats. And then shortly after, we're like, all right, like we gotta, these fake meats aren't the end all be all. And we just kept going and kept researching on what like would be a balanced diet. We started to enter more into like eating legumes and nuts and snacks and fruits, and shortly after that, we went to like organic stuff, started making a lot more stuff at home, less processed. And like you said, like you feel great. You know, it felt really good to just ditch a bunch of stuff. And I kind of have an addictive personality anyway.
Hmm.
So if I'm on the way home and I'm hungry, I'm going to stop at BK, you know? And to just take all that off the table, to, it's not even a choice anymore, was so freeing. It sounds weird, but like it was so freeing to set a boundary for myself and then like follow through with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then shortly after that, we went to alkaline water, and I got like another boost of like, oh, I feel so good.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, cut to current day, we have a 14-month old, and she's never had anything. She's never had any meat. She's never had any milk. She's never had any eggs or nothing. We're doing good. We try to, like you said, try to eat healthy. We're not the healthiest. We go get a freaking fake chicken burger every once in a while or
Hmm.
whatever. Um, and that's we kind of just kept going. We went from like, okay, we're not going to eat meat to we're not going to eat any animal byproducts to like um, uh, animal testing. So then like we started to phase out stuff that was like tested on animals. So I like for the first time in my life, I stopped using Old Spice products, which was a tough transition for me. I stopped wearing my leather boots. I had to retire my leather jacket, which like was my whole identity up until that point in my life. Like it was metal and it was punk and it was greaser and I loved it. And I was like, I can't do it. Like
Hmm.
full disclosure, I still have it for when the world ends and I need to, be somebody else. But yeah, I had to get rid of all the leather stuff. We
Well,
stopped
and
using
it's
stuff like
like what else are you gonna do with it? You already have it, and it happened. You already had it from before, so it's like
yeah.
what There's certain
E-
things. It's like you just can't. I
my
don't
like my
know.
my belt, once it started to like go, I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to replace it with a not leather belt. When my boots started to go, I
Exactly.
was like, all right, we'll replace it with not leather boots.
Exactly.
And then cut to now where my wife has gone down the rabbit hole of the non-toxic journey, and now like we're finding that there's like a bunch of lead in spinach and shit. And so like, to your point, it's a continuing kind of thing. You don't just cut out meat, start eating a bunch of, Beyond Meat and like you're healthy. No,
Yeah.
like it's a fine tuning machine you have to do all the time.
Yeah.
But that was how we started, and we never really looked back. It led to me stop smoking cigarettes because they test on animals, which
Mhm.
I'm sure my lungs thank me for.
And did you say what year that was? Did I miss that?
Oh, it was 15,
Okay.
2015, or I think it was like 2015,
Okay.
because it was I had a family member that had a real big mental health scare, and it kind of opened my eyes to everything. And that was when I started
Yeah.
jumping down rabbit holes, and that's kind of
Gotcha.
what got us going. But she actually had been wanting to cut meat out since she was a kid and never had the opportunity. So it was something new, and it's stuck, and it's just part of who we are now.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting stuff. We've both been at it kind of now for a while. What is it like there in Texas? Do you have to find yourself more, like you were saying, making stuff at home? Are the grocery stores just like any grocery store? Is it harder? Is it just as easy? Especially going out? Like, just what is it like? Because there's been just a ton of evolution, just even here, just more and more restaurants keep opening up with not only just vegan options, but full vegan places. So what is it like there?
Right. Yeah, that's another part of it. I grew up, well, I was in Texas off and on until I was like 7. Both my families are here, my mom's side, my dad's side. Every Sunday my dad would barbecue
Yeah,
chicken, sausage, burgers, and I'd eat all of it. So it was tough for me to kick meat, kind of in that sense. But coming back here now, where I am in Texas, there's more vegan restaurants and vegan options in a closer driving range than when I was in North County, San Diego.
that's interesting.
Like it really is. It kind of blew me. I came here expecting to be all right. We're gonna cook everything at home. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna learn some shit. I'm like I'm gonna start trying to cook more, whatever, whatever. And there's like 3 or 4 vegan places like 5 minutes away, and it's really easy. Yeah, there's this place called Mellow Mushroom. Side note, you would love it. It's like their logo is like this little mushroom that looks stoned all the time. It's great.
nice.
But they have a whole little vegan menu. There's this place called Project Pollo that is just fantastic. They're so good. They're always giving away free food, which is great. They have this thing called like the pay what you can burger. I think it's made for like people that live on the streets, you know, and like you give
Yeah.
them a quarter, they'll give you a burger. So
What?
kind of a communal aspect. Yeah, man, they're trying to expand nationally. So I think there's going to be one in LA, and I'm sure they'll make their way to San Diego. But a lot of
That's awesome.
options. There's Sprouts. We still get our food from Sprouts, you know.
Nice.
So so it hasn't been terrible, but I'm still trying to learn how to cook more at home with more
Yeah.
ingredient based, spice based stuff. We're trying to grow our shit
It's
because
so
in that like
hard.
it really is. Basil is like the most temperamental plant in the world. You look at it wrong and it wilts and dies.
Yeah.
But our goal is to get a place out in the middle of nowhere where we grow like all of our stuff and, you know, I don't know, maybe dig a well, whatever. So
Yeah.
we're like kind of training for that.
Nice. So, okay, let's get into, I mean, this will kind of lead into some of the mistreatment of animals and stuff like that, but hunting, that's a controversial topic. Um how do you feel about it? And obviously not for sport, like not for sport,
Okay.
but
All right. All right. I was about to go fucking
but
crazy.
to eat, like for people who are like for their own consumption, who kill like one or two animals a year, and it's to provide for their whole family for a year to like year and a half, whatever. Plus also overpopulation. Like what is it like with animals just becoming so overpopulated and overrunning cities and things like that. So what are your thoughts on all of that?
If I go super hard line, there's no fucking excuse. You don't have to do it. You want to do it. And you shouldn't want to fucking kill and take the life of something else. Overpopulation? Fucking look around. We're overpopulating places in fucking mega cities. Animals are fucking fine. You know what I mean? But actually, no, there is no but. I don't think you should fucking, as of now, it's not, I don't think it's a necessity unless you're, I don't know, man, living in a
Because
different
I've heard
country
there's just
where,
like I just heard certain like states even here just get overrun with animals and they have to like hunt them because they're taking
let's
over
throw off the ecosystem.
neighborhood. Yeah, that kind of stuff, and other things will go extinct and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, it's frustrating because we're driving the animals to us because we're just constantly building where they live and knocking things down. So it's this catch 22 where it's really frustrating, where it's like, yeah, the animals are coming to our neighborhoods, but it's like we built this neighborhood where the animals were, you know? So
Yeah,
it's
man.
just this interesting thing.
They have
Hunting,
generational memory, you know?
yeah, exactly.
At least cows and deer. That's what I've learned.
And hunting, like you said, there is, as far as we see in big cities, there's not a necessity for it. I do think in more rural areas there is less access to, you know, to having a more sustainable diet. And that's where I could see and kind of understand it to me. But to me, I would never do it. I could never do it. I could never kill an animal purposefully. That is just something, and that's why I will never do it, and I can never eat meat or do any. So let's get that clear. But
Mhm.
for me, I can understand where if you're living in a more rural area and it's kind of out of necessity, where this one animal will provide your family instead of having to go to the store where everything's super inflated and, you know, just I could understand it. I could never do it. And it's, yeah, like you were saying, there's no ethical way to kill an animal, but they're normally doing it in using the whole animal and one shot usually, instead of like having these like factory farms where they're just suffering and just miserable, have no space to roam, and then just get their throats cut or whatever their process is. Hunting is a little different, but again, I could never do it. And like you're saying, it for what we see in cities and things like that, it's not a necessity. Um, but yeah, that's where I'm at. But yeah, the factory farming and like the mass production and stuff, that's where there's a huge problem. And you could probably speak more to that. You're the one who kind of dives into all of that information. So if you want to like expound upon that and that industry.
Yeah, and real quick too, like I get the rural areas living out in the middle of nowhere, but kind of going back to what I was saying, that's my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
an
yeah.
example, I moved when we moved out here, I threw all my plants in the Thunderbird. Yeah, I when we moved out here, I threw all of our plants in the Thunderbird. We had a bunch, I don't know if you remember, we had a bunch of like tomato plants that would just like randomly pop up in our yard because the seeds would get spread and they would grow really well.
Yeah.
We moved this big plant out here, and as soon as we got here, a tomato plant sprouted up. Didn't plant it, it just happened. And it grew into a huge tomato plant. We got a bunch of little cherry tomatoes off of it. So if you can do that,
Yeah.
and like if you're growing something perennial that just keeps going and like tomatoes, or it just keeps giving you tomatoes, you
Hmm.
don't need to kill it and then put it in a freezer for a year and eat it a little bit at a time. It's something that keeps going. It's something that keeps getting sun, so it's better for you. That's like if I'm not gonna tell someone well, I will tell someone they shouldn't fucking do it, but I understand that people were brought up differently and have different values, and it's okay to them. It ain't me.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Me
I'm gonna
either.
pause
Yeah.
real quick because I don't see you moving. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I think my internet's a little shaky, but are you good? Are you
I'll
there?
give it just a second, see if it'll catch up.
Oh.
We can fix this in post, right?
Mm, maybe. It's all good if not. Did it just completely die?
Cool. You there?
Yeah. Are you good?
Okay.
We good? No. Oh,
You sound
fuck.
like a dying robot.
Oh, no.
So a little bit of the factory farming stuff. That's kind of what. That's what, okay. You're moving again a little bit,
All right,
but the
just
factory
go.
farming stuff.
Yeah, just go with the factory farming
Yeah,
if you could hear me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's the stuff that really pushes over the edge. And at that time, there was, I think, I don't know if there was more popping up online back then, or if I just, it's not on my algorithm as much anymore. But I was seeing that shit daily, man. And it was like, it would kind of fuel me to keep going down the like not eating meat path. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking sad, and like it would definitely take a lot of like energy from me, and it sucked and it hurt and it would make me upset. But I think people's brains work differently, and I think my brain needed to see how that shit went down in order to be like, all right, I need to make a stand and go tell everybody. But yeah, we had read up on like the humane way to slaughter animals. We didn't agree with it. We had seen the videos of how they do it, and it doesn't like they follow it anyway. I mean, you see undercover, like PETA going undercover, and these dudes will like, cut the eyeballs out of fucking cows and put them on their eyes, and it's like two types of people that work there. There's sociopaths, and then there's people just trying to make a buck that end up having mental health issues afterward. And that
Mm,
was something that surprised me is a lot of I don't know what to even call them, slaughterhouse workers, were going to therapy, man, because they were all fucked up from having to kill animals that didn't want to die. And you watch these videos and they're dragging the fucking cow to the killing floor, and the cow's eyes are just like this, dude. Like they know, man. They can smell that shit. They smell that shit. They know what's going on, and they know they're next, and they're trying like fucking hell to not die, to not get murdered, and fucking
yeah.
their eyes pulled out by some a hole who wants to fucking make an Instagram post.
Yeah.
And why? So some fucking overweight person who's gonna die of cardiovascular disease and they're fucking impotent at the age of 35 anyway can have 2 cheeseburgers a night. Stupid. It was dumb. It upset me. And then I actually had this conversation with my dad, because I was like, okay, cool. Like I see that they're killing animals. I don't like that. No meat, right? And then I was like, all right, but like cheese, eggs, like that's different. It comes from an animal. It's not an animal. And then I looked into the egg thing and saw what they do with the chicks. They just, first of all, they treat them like shit. They lived in small cages. They're pumped full of hormones to produce more like breast meat than they should. They're not healthy. When they try to pull them out of the cages, and like the fucking chickens will like grab on like to not get pulled out with their little claws, they'll just fucking chop their legs off, and that's where you get chicken legs from, you know. And I was telling my dad, they're like on a conveyor belt, the little chicks, and they're just going through, getting the males and throwing them in a fucking trash bag. And I've seen them, they just throw the trash bags in the fucking dumpster, or they'll bury them alive. Like they don't like,
Jeez.
it's fucking brutal, man. Like, and to like, it was just one of those things where like you couldn't ignore it anymore. Like you don't want to be a part of it's like fucking paying taxes. You see where that money goes, like, I don't want to be a part of that. How do I get out of that? So like the legal ways they had okay to kill animals didn't sit right with us. The way they were actually doing it, we saw videos of it, didn't sit right with us. And even the stuff that came from animals, they're not doing well. I mean, you see videos of cows in a fucking big ass circle with machines attached to their udders that fucks their udders up. And like cows, I believe, produce milk after being pregnant. And so they just take the calf away, throw them in a little fucking cell to be veal in a few months, and then just keep pumping the fucking cows. It seemed very perverse. And like
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating, but it seemed fucking evil. Like who does this shit to fucking animals? And
exactly.
I come from a Christian background where like you're supposed to be fucking good and benevolent and giving and kind and nice and all this shit. And fucking, Noah was like vegetarian, which was basically vegan back then, I think, because I don't think they like, made creme brulee and shit.
Yeah.
But like it didn't fall in line with where I was, and it still doesn't fall in line with where I am. And it's not like this is what I landed on. There's no right way to kill something that doesn't want to die.
Hmm.
Until someone can fucking prove me wrong on that statement, I don't like there's no reason to ever look at it again. But yeah, they're
Yeah.
legally allowed to treat these animals like shit if it's your job. If you kill an animal out in the middle of the street, fucking cops will come, you'll get a ticket, you might go to jail. But if you're getting paid to do it, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it just didn't
Fauci
make sense. Yeah.
had to throw his
Fucking
name in
asshole.
here for the
Yeah, fuck that
algorithm.
guy. For the algorithm. Fucking Fauci, vaccine, Pizzagate.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. You can edit that out, right? Just bleep it. Bleep it.
um, so we all know that SeaWorld's terrible, but what are your thoughts on like the wild animal park?
That was a tough one, man.
That's a tough one,
So
right?
it is a tough one. So I will say that when we were living there, looking into it, I think we did go a time or two. Um, and we did a lot of reading online. We talked to other people that were vegan, and because they aren't in cages, because most of the animals are out in the open in a similar climate, similar humidity level to where they would be like out in
Yeah.
the Serengeti, we were more okay with it. And then when you see the stuff that they try to do to like help animals, or whatever animal got messed up in the wild from a poacher and they brought him to reheal him, now he can't be in the wild, so he hangs out here, like that is different. Not even to me, like that just is factually different than fucking breeding killer whales to live in a tiny pool and do
Hmm.
tricks and shit, and then be mad at
Yeah.
them when they fucking kill the trainer. And then when we had our baby, we were like, okay, let's open up the wild animal park thing again and look at it. And we were okay with what they were doing and how they were doing it for the most part. And it's the only place you can see animals from other countries like that. Really, it was probably the safest, most well cared for place, and we wanted to expose our kid to that kind of stuff at a very young age, so it's part of her schema. And it goes into child development and all that. But like we
Yeah.
wanted her to see that, so we did take her when she
Mhm.
was, I don't even know, 6 months old, 5 months old, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've gone. I would probably go again, but I'm also quick to cut it out if they were to change something, or I hear the wrong thing, or whatever. I was even looking at like working there for a while because I wanted to see how it was on the backside. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, but no zoo for sure, no Sea World. And I
Yeah,
know there's shit
exactly.
here in Texas with big cats and farms and stuff. And I'm like waiting, like there's one where you drive through and there's animals around, and I'm like, okay, that sounds all right.
Mhm.
Like you're in the cage, not them. That's one thing, but
But they're still profiting off of it.
well, and see, like some of them are nonprofit or well, no, not for profit is different, but some of them are nonprofit, which is another thing I kind of look for. Like actually, the chick from The Birds has a nonprofit in LA, and I think she just takes in like animals from circuses and shit that they don't give a shit about anymore, and gives them a place to hang out. And I know there's at least one horse rescue down south that takes horses that have been neglected, abused, cast aside, and they're a not for profit, and they just have a bunch of fucking horses running around their land.
Mhm.
So I guess it's a spectrum, and I guess it's case by case, and I guess it's even the person looking at it, because I know people that would probably identify as vegan but smoke cigarettes, even though that also like hurts animals that may or may not go to the zoo. Like it's a weird thing. What about you? Wild Animal Park, Zoo, SeaWorld? What do you think?
Oh shit. Damn, I think.
I can hear you.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on.
I'll just find some cool pictures to screen share since your picture's gone.
Is it still gone? Dang, hold
Yeah,
on.
it just says Drew.
Yeah, I see that. But you can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Here, hold on. Let's see. There we go. There we are. I don't know what happened there. Just died on me. You can still hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so what was that? What were we saying? Oh, so where am I with the wild animal park? Um, I haven't been because that's something that I question. And
Mhm.
I want to go at times and I've missed out on some family time because they've gone and I just kind of really questioned it. It's just one of those things that's kind of hard to me. Yeah, they're not in actual cages, but it's still boundaries in a cage. Like it's still technically that. But yeah, they try and mimic the temperatures and all of that and the climates and things like that. So they do their best, but I haven't been since I've been quote unquote vegan or whatever because it's one of those things. And yeah, I've looked it up, I've researched it too, and it seems like a lot of vegan people are okay with it. So maybe I'll have to check it out again, but it is just one of those things where I've kind of just questioned the morality of it just for my own personal sake.
For sure. And like I don't even think it started altruistically, but I think with the advent of the San Diego Zoo, they kind of like the zoo went one direction and the wild animal park kind of went another, to the
Yeah.
point where now it's, I would say, drastically different than the zoo. Even though the zoo, I've heard,
Yeah.
tries to do some stuff that's a little less, I don't know, restrictive or what have you. The other part of it is, as far as I know, like some of the rhinos and shit they have at the wild animal park, it's like the last one on earth, or they're hunted in this country, and like I don't know what's better, living in captivity fairly cushy and somewhat to what you're used to, or being completely free with a bunch of fucking poachers on your ass, or a bunch
Yeah.
like fucking Donald Trump Jr. trying to fucking kill you and keep you as a trophy. I don't know. And again, because we can't ask them, like, it's like best guess. I would rather
Yeah.
be completely free than have to give up some freedom for security, but I can voice that. The fucking last white rhino in the world can't.
Yeah. So another thing we had kind of questioned before we kind of ran this topic, um, where did you come up with this question? But like, can a person who's vegan ride a horse? Did you hear that? No? Did you disappear? Are you gone? Anyway, I don't know what happened. Maybe the internet again. A little shaky. Are you there? No? Just gone? Just gone.
Yeah,
Are you there?
your audio's a little choppy, so I just want to give you an extra second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hmm.
I can hear you, but it's really, really choppy and slow.
I can hear you. Did you hear my question about riding a horse?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Drew Sev.
I can hear
So
you.
shaky. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you might be coming back.
Are you there?
Okay, cool. So the horse riding question, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were hiking Runyon Canyon, and that's in LA up to the Hollywood sign, essentially. They have like a stable there right at the base of the mountain, and people can like ride horses up, not up to the Hollywood sign, but in and around Runyon Canyon area in LA. And I was walking with my wife, and I was like, so like riding a horse, is that a yay or an nay? And we had a whole big long conversation about it, because I was on the fence, because I've always like, I used to think, and I guess I still kind of do to a point, like riding a horse is fucking cool. Like cowboys do it, they fucking outlaws would do it to get away, like, but I think I came to the conclusion that like if you're identifying as someone who doesn't eat animals or animal byproducts, it should also include, because that's like the definition, right? Vegan is you don't eat animals, you don't eat animal byproducts, including honey, right?
So, so do you want to get into that real quick? Because
the honey one?
no. Just the actual kind of definition of being vegan. Because
Yeah,
it's
'cause that's where it
literally
starts.
it's literally impossible. And that's where I've come to realize like I hate this label, and it's kind of stupid because it's literally an impossible standard to live by. There's no way we can go through our lives without injuring or hurting an animal, insect, or life. Like it's just impossible. And it's like I will do my best to not do that, and I will not consciously like eat something or go out of my way to harm something. But it's like, dude, this label of being vegan is kind of bullshit, and I kind of hate it because of it's like it's an impossible standard. There's no way anybody could live a completely 100% vegan life. It's impossible.
Dude,
And
the way they make beer and alcohol, like the people that make it will say like, oh yeah, sometimes bugs get in there, whatever, like you have to go find specifically fucking vegan wine and beer, and it's like not as much as you would think, and it's fucking crazy.
yeah. And but just even driving or riding a bike or anything, digging up dirt, like anything, you're going to disrupt, harm, or hurt something. It's not intentionally, but that's where it's like this. That's where I've come to, where it's like, dude, this label and definition is just kind of bullshit. Like, and it's kind of annoying because there are those people who like claim to be vegan, and it's just like, it's that annoying type, it's just like that Instagram type, and it's just, I don't know. And I don't mean like, I mean the Instagram influencer type, like that's, and it's just annoying, and it's just a fad to a lot of people. And it's, to me, it's just become this like it is this impossible standard. And it's like, I think maybe that's why it was created, to kind of like villainize, where it's like, oh, you claim to be vegan, but what about this? What about that? You can always poke a hole in it. You know what I mean? Like there's always something where, oh, but what about this? And it's like, okay, yeah. So it kind of sets you up to like always fall short because of the definition.
Yeah, and there's always part of me that didn't really even like that word, due in part to like people be like, "Oh, that person is a vegan." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucking weird." So then when
Yeah.
I started to hear plant-based be tossed around, I kind of latched to that because it sounds
Yeah.
cooler and it focuses, not that animals aren't the focus, but it focuses more on what you're replacing all the other stuff with, plant-based
Hmm.
stuff. Eat a banana, have an apple, boom. Like raw diet.
Yeah.
But yeah, the term always kind of got me, and as the years have gone by, it's just been more and more like I almost like distance myself from it. Like
Hmm.
I'll tell someone like, "Oh yeah,
Exactly.
no, I don't eat milk or I don't eat meat or dairy." I won't be like, "I'm vegan." You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
I'll like
They don't give
never
a
say
fuck
that.
anyway.
Yeah.
No, yeah, unless I'm having like a conversation with someone and they're
Exactly.
like, "Oh, you're vegan," like, yeah, vegan, but it's
Yeah.
more X, Y, and Z, and I don't fucking the animal testing and well, then you sound super crazy, which is where I like to be. That's fine. But yeah, no, I that term's tough, man. It really is, and especially now, and I'm sure we'll get to it more later. But especially now, have like just like last year, how woke got turned into something completely different than what it
Yeah.
initially meant.
Yeah.
Like it just gets hijacked.
Yeah. And then this was another question that after that horse question, I immediately brought up was like, oh, if you're gonna ask if riding horses is questionable, I'm gonna throw it right back. Is owning pets okay? Because like you were saying, I personally don't purchase my dog's food because it is my dad and he will do it. If I were to purchase, I always buy something that is vegan for them. And if they were like 100% my dogs, I would probably feed them a vegan diet because I know they can. Um,
Okay.
but cats, you guys rescue cats and they're carnivores, and how, yeah, what's the justification, or how do you juggle that predicament? And
Yeah,
or
cats
is
are little.
owning pets in general okay because we're putting ownership on them? So just that whole concept of pets and where we both kind of are at.
Yeah, it kind of touches on that. There's always holes to be poked in it, right? Like you can't have the right answer about everything. It comes to like it goes to an unattainable level if you're trying
Exactly.
to please everybody and their interpretations. But yeah, no, we have cats. We had them before we decided that we weren't going to do animals and animal byproducts. And those little fuckers are like little velociraptors, man. Like I know that because I've read about it from time to time, people that will like balance the amino acids and like they basically create food for their cats by fucking doing a science project.
Yeah.
And like straight up, we don't have the capability, the understanding, or the time to do that, especially with a little baby running around now.
Yeah.
um and these poor guys, like I feel like I committed to feeding them their food when I took them in. And I want to go back on it because of something I don't want to project onto them. They have fucking fangs. You know what I mean? They will tear. I've seen cats tear up other animals. Like we don't do that. I don't have fangs, so I don't feel. And I do try to find like good. We have found good quality food for them. Like a lot of that dry food is just trash for cats,
Yeah.
but we'll try to find really good quality stuff. Like even it actually goes back to like the slaughterhouse conversation, because a lot of the cat food, dog food is made from just disregarded parts from the slaughterhouse that go to us. But the way, and this is another good question for my wife, the way they treat those leftovers or what's done to them coming from some places is a lot healthier than how we do it here. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole. We tried this stuff that was almost like the closest to being natural for them, called Weruva, and our cats didn't fucking like it. They wanted more of that
Mm.
like pate. Um, I used to think about it a lot, and I used to not lose sleep, but it used to be on my mind like, dude, we take in these stray cats, right? Like cats will have a litter and another litter, and another litter, another litter, and we'll take them in. And if they're stray, like one of the first things we do is we get them fixed so they don't go make more. right? And it got to the point where I was like, bro, like I'm fucking taking in these animals and then mutilating them and then keeping them indoors. Like that's not how they are naturally. But then that circles back to like us encroaching on animals' areas and then being like, oh, there's too many fucking wild boar in this area. Like, well, yeah, you built your house in the middle of a wild boar town. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So as I came to the conclusion that at least where we were in Anaheim when we were doing all this, it was the people's fault. It was like humans' fault in that area that there are so many cats around without food, without water, getting hit by cars. Like every day, I'd see a handful of cats dead in the street. You know what I mean? So it was our fault that was happening. And no, it's not natural for them to be fixed and maybe be put into homes. But that's almost like the correction of deviation from a natural line back. Do you know what I mean? And we've taken cats off the streets, gotten them fixed, placed them in homes to where I would venture to guess if you could ask them, hey, do you want to live on the fucking street drinking rainwater? Or do you like your new bow tie and wet food 3 times a day? They'd be like, nah, I'm good here. You know,
Mhm.
and like that was a big part of it too. We wanted to place them in homes that were good for them.
But
But
again, that's our projection. And that's us putting feelings onto them. And, like you said, we're taking them out of their natural environment. Who knows? They could thrive in those environments and like because that is their natural way of living. And we're just saying, oh no, they like it here. They're comfortable here. But meanwhile, they're like, no, fuck, I need my freedom. I need to be out there, and we're just projecting that on them. And I don't know, it is one of those things. It's like, yeah, they have
yeah,
great lives, but are they missing their natural animal instincts?
I'm I mean, it's tough because like I worked at Disneyland and there's a specific Disney parking area for employees, and there were cats dying in the fucking parking area. Like Disneyland is not natural. The parking lot is not natural. These
Yeah.
cats are trying to survive on a little patch of grass here and there. And so I didn't feel bad removing them from there and putting them somewhere else. It's either,
Yeah.
or even like there's this one rescue in Downey in LA where every fucking night they're killing 100 cats, and I'm like, okay, well, I take them, fix them, and put them in a home, which isn't natural for them, or they just die at 2 days old.
Hmm.
Like it's fucked up, but we're so far from like the natural fucking order of things that
Yeah.
it seems to be I think, a less shitty option for them.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, it's tough, and for a long time, I felt bad about having cats fixed, and I
Yeah.
still like we're not doing rescue right now. But I'm still gonna let my cats outside. I mean, people fucking beat the shit out of them for fun. People kill them for fun. People abduct
Exactly.
them and like go throw the kittens in dog fighting rings to get them agitated. They'll take them and experiment on them. Like
Yeah.
it sucks, but unless they're living in the fucking wild, miles away from people, living inside is a better option,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. And like you said, and I was kind of expounding upon, it's like that label just kind of leads to a unrealistic and impossible standard to live by. And that's where it's like I think it could be used against people who are vegan and give it a bad name and bad look and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely more about being healthy, and doing the best we can. And I care about animals, I love animals, and doing my best to kind of save them in my own personal way. But yeah, I'm getting kind of over that
Yeah.
label of being vegan. But and speaking of that, how about some of the celebrities? There's like been a handful of celebrities. Do you want to talk about the ones who are vegan and went away from it, or who are still vegan and maybe pushing the agenda, or who have been vegan a while? Where do you want to go with this? I know we gotta
Let's
wrap up soon, but
let's start with some celebrities that are vegan that seem to be doing it for altruistic reasons that are, still doing it. You have any of
still
those?
doing it.
I know one. I know
Goodness.
one off the top of my no two. I know two off the top of my head, and that's like it.
So I had this article. Moby was like the number one. He's been doing it for a long time. Um, and then who's another one's been doing it for a long time? Woody Harrelson's been doing it a long time, quite a while. But yeah, no,
Yeah, Woody Harrelson is part of the machine, but he's a big weed and don't eat animals advocate.
yeah, exactly. It's interesting for sure. But yeah, what about you? Who are yours that came to mind right away?
Actually, real quick, Woody Harrelson was on this most recent season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he plays like an exaggerated version of himself where he like jumps on Larry David's shit for not being vegan. It's really funny.
Mm,
Um, but Austin Aries, pro wrestler Austin Aries, I didn't even know until I was at Riot Fest, and someone handed me a vegan pamphlet, and I was like, "Yeah, let's take a look. What you got?" And Austin Aries is on there, and that dude is like anti everything, down all these
yeah,
rabbit holes, hardcore
yeah.
vegan, really fucking cool guy. Hates the mask, won't get the vaccine. Really cool. And the other one, as of I think maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago, is Sami Zayn. This shows you how
Oh
big my
yeah,
world of celebrities is just wrestling celebrities.
that's funny.
Uh, yeah, but I know those two dudes are still at it, and Sami Zayn even talks like he'll work it into his promos on TV. You know what
Really
I mean? Yeah, it's really good stuff. He uses it as
nice.
like a being a heel. He'll be like, "I'm vegan. You guys are all unhealthy and shit like that." And it's funny. So
That's funny.
those are the two that I know. I can't think of anyone else that's still going.
Joaquin Phoenix, I think.
Okay, yeah, and he even expanded to I think doing like clothing that doesn't hurt animals and shit like
Yeah,
that. So he's pretty down some rabbit holes too.
yeah. I was
Love
reading
that
this
guy.
article. Who else was it? Um, Stevie Wonder.
No, how does he
That's what it
know?
says. How does he know? Damn.
Oh,
He knows.
yeah.
He can see.
Yeah, I mean, he can probably see anyway, right? Yeah, he can see.
Oh, and then
That's
I think
it.
they said like Colin Kaepernick, Lizzo. I don't know if she still is, but I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know when
I
this
think
article
Elijah
came
Wood
out,
might
but
be, right?
Pamela Anderson, she
That
was
might
a
be
big
fake news,
one.
and I might be making it up.
Pamela Anderson's been doing it for a while.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. I remember that for sure.
I thought she was a big fan of meat.
Ah.
Ah. All right,
So
so let's get to the assholes. Who's gone back on it and is like, rude about it now?
oh, did you want to talk about the ones who are pushing the agenda or the ones who yeah, because then there was Billie Eilish who was on that list as
Oh
well.
my
And I know
god.
you have your feelings about
She's got
her.
to be Yeah, well, let's just throw them out there and then we'll categorize them and see where they
Yeah.
fall.
So,
She
Miley Cyrus was a big one. She was vegan for a while, and then I remember watching her Joe Rogan interview, and she kind of explained why she stopped. And it just seems like the typical story of just not being informed of what your body needs because you can get
mm,
all the nutrients with a plant-based diet if you know what you need and what you need to supplement with. But just sounded like excuses. And yeah, I believe she got a lot of blowback from that for sure. But she was a big one.
yeah, that one surprised me a little, but I think her at the time fiance, Liam Hemsworth, was also vegan, and I think he ditched it as well. I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing anybody's reason as to why.
It says it
Uh,
right here. Like he felt great at first. The first 2 years I felt great. I felt my energy was high. I felt like my body was strong. Cardio was high. Everything felt really good. But February last year, I was feeling really low and lethargic and wasn't feeling good generally, he said. And then I got a kidney stone. One of the causes of the kidney stones is an excessive high level of oxalate, a chemical compound found in nuts, spinach, legumes, and bran. So and then it says like he was consuming these foods in epic proportions and, you know, just
yeah, he's a
probably
big dude.
had a health scare with the kidney stone and was like, oh, I gotta make more changes now. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I've read of people that, eat 5 pieces of fruit a day and they're totally fine. So I think I think another important part of it is everyone's body is different. I was listening to, in preparation for this, I was listening to this one, I don't know, I guess she's like a blogger or some shit that was vegan. And then she's like, hey, I'm not vegan anymore. And this is why. It's just like blonde hair, blue eye. And I started thinking, like, dude, maybe it's like in her DNA. Maybe she's fucking like her ancestors are from Scandinavia. And like maybe she needs fish a little more than someone who ancestors didn't grow up out in the ocean on the shores eating fish. I don't know. Everyone, you know what I mean? Like everyone's different. Maybe that plays
Mhm.
into it. But
But like I was
yeah,
saying, you can get your omegas through other sources that doesn't have to be fish. Like it can be hemp protein or, kelp or, or just other
those are good.
sea
Those are
stuff,
good.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
But
no.
people just don't
Kelp and
seem
stuff is
to
good.
really, you know, pay attention to those things. They're just like, oh, I'm not getting what I need. So, oh, I guess I got to go back.
Yeah, let me get a cheeseburger because that'll fix everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another big
it,
one was Mike Tyson. He was pushing being vegan for a while, and then all of a sudden he
yeah.
wanted to start training again and doing the boxing thing. And he's like, "Oh, I want to get my body back into like fighting shape and all this stuff." And just seem to be, excuses. It just seems to be excuses. It seems like people use it and then just kind of be like, "Oh, well, time to do something else now," and it just never seems like they're really in it for the right reasons to be pushing the vegan agenda. Like if you're gonna live by the vegan thing, like you said, go by plant-based diet if you're gonna say it. But a lot of these people say vegan, I'm vegan, and then they're still wearing leather or doing this. And then if you're vegan and have that understanding of what it is, how could you ever really go back? Like, I don't understand how you could ever really go back if you ever claim to be vegan. Like, to me, it
I
doesn't
don't
make
know
sense.
either, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost I almost feel like some of them didn't really understand what they were getting themselves into and what they were pushing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because yeah, like you're saying, you watch those videos of those cows or the chickens, and like, how? I guess I could understand if you went from that to being vegan to not being vegan because you are like doing practicing animal husbandry and you're slaughtering your own animals. Like I
Yeah.
guess they have a little more control over it, but it's not something I could do. And it seems it seems to me like they jumped in too big, promised too much, and then like, oh, I'm just gonna backpedal because I'm not about this life after all.
Yeah.
You know, which again,
And
I guess
and
speaks
then
to
with a lot
them.
of the backpedaling and like those powerful the celebrities and all that, it's vegan, 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 be vegan, do the 30-day vegan challenge, vegan this, vegan that. And then all of a sudden they back off from it. And then that gives the vegan community a bad look, a bad name. Like, oh, but this
Totally.
person, oh, they weren't getting the nutrients they needed. So they have this massive influence, and that's where it's kind of changed, and kind of I think where we'll get kind of the next time with the whole agenda thing of,
Yeah.
we'll dive into more of these celebrities and kind of more of their stories and why they decide their excuses and what's been promoted and by who and the money that's going into where. We'll kind of dive into all of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it gives it a bad look. It really does when there's, it- this full on promotion and then they back off and be like, "Oh, I'm actually not vegan anymore." It's like, okay, I don't like
Right.
yours.
And like,
I don't understand how, but
and who the fuck knows if they ever were or if they're not now or if they're telling the
exactly.
truth or if they're lying now
Yeah.
or if they were lying then. They don't fucking know. They're celebrities. They're not real people.
Actors, yeah.
They're
Exactly.
actors. They lie for a living. We don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Very true.
All part of the agenda.
Very, very true. Ellen DeGeneres was a big one. Yeah, she was one
I like this
who,
groundwork we laid.
yeah. Yep, definitely. But I was just gonna say one more thing. Ellen DeGeneres was a
Yeah, she's a
big
big fan
one.
of eating fish, I've heard.
Now, yeah, again, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot to still get into, but yeah, this was good. Sorry about my internet. I'll have to figure something out about that. But little choppy, but we got through it.
For sure.
So yeah, go put the baby to bed.
Yeah, I can hear her out there constantly.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
All right,
And
dude.
yeah, we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, let's try to continue it next week.
All right, sounds good.
Cool.
Peace.